which takes us to the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting. I will call that meeting to order. Is there any motion or discussion on item 2, the consent docket?
Motion to approve consent docket.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the consent docket. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, the consent docket is approved, which brings us to item 5, the Chamber of Commerce quarterly report. Ms. Moore.
Oh gosh, that was painful. Sorry, y'all. Hi, everyone. Good to see you again. Glad to be back as always and super excited. We always have great things to report, which makes it feel like it's just a good thing to do. As always, we want to start with our mission and our core values. I know last quarter we presented on our strategic plan that is live at the Grow Stillwater website, which is www.growstillwater.org, if anybody wants to see it. We've also started doing a couple of different things. Last quarter, I wanted to kind of explain what all economic development touches. And if you guys remember, I had that cool web and it touched a million things that didn't even cover everything. And so each time I want to give a shout out to the people we work with, because all of those aspects in that web take people on this page to run. And so when we talk about economic development being collaborative and it taking partners, these are the partners that we're talking about. So Meridian, the regional airport, Visit Stillwater, Department of Commerce, Select Oklahoma, Greater Oklahoma City Chamber, the city here, right? Nobody can do economic development on their own. And I think it's important for our community to remember that as we talk about wins and we talk about progress, that happens as a group effort. And a lot of those people come from our economic development committee as well. So if you're not following us on social media to see who's in that committee, we would encourage you to, and would also encourage anybody to get involved with the chamber so they can join that committee as well if they're interested in hearing what's going on. One of the things that we're most excited about is we had the opportunity with the Department of Commerce to apply for what was called the Community Marketing Partnership Program through the state, which is similar to the Oklahoma Innovation Expansion Program that we talked about last month for small businesses, except this one's geared at communities, and it gives them an opportunity to market their community, and the state's helping them tell their stories. So we partnered with Visit Stillwater and the regional airport and came up with this ad. This is the ad that will be in the Thunder magazine, and it actually, that QR code, if you were to scan it, goes to a link tree, and that link tree will get you either to the airport website to visit or to our economic development website. So anybody that looks in that and that's interested in more about Stillwater, not only will we see that they've done it, but we'll see where they're looking from, and that's going to help us with our marketing efforts as well. Some of the programs that we did last quarter, we started our Regional Economic Development Roundtable. So as Stillwater knows, we benefit from our rural communities outside of Stillwater quite a bit. And we felt like it was important not only for us within the county to bridge those county partnerships, but to also look at those other communities that don't have an economic development arm. We get a lot of benefit from our regional partnership with the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber, and they have access to resources that we wouldn't be able to get on our own. So how do we pay it forward? How do we be good stewards? How, as Stillwater is seeing projects come through the pipeline, if they don't work for us, can they work for them, and can we connect them to those opportunities? But additionally, if we have needs in Stillwater that maybe we can't make happen right away, and we know some of these other communities are, we can. So we've started a roundtable. It was very well attended. We were very excited. We had representatives from Cushing, Perkins, Perry. We had, who am I forgetting, Brady? I can't remember. Anyway, we had a lot of good, really represented, and our county commissioners attended, which was also really, really exciting. We also hosted our first Making the Most of Your Commercial Real Estate Investment panel discussion. That was huge. As we know, commercial real estate is a huge part of economic development, and we need to provide the people that have invested in those assets in our community with resources and conversations and a lot of tools. And so we actually had a great panel come. Some of them are, they're just really, really influential people that know a lot about the industry, and we've been asked to host more of those. So the next one's going to come out, and it's going to have a financial focus. So we're excited about that. And then our small business university graduated. So we had 19 in the cohort this year. Of those 19, 17 graduated. Some of their logos are mentioned here, but we put that program on in partnership with Meridian and the Riata Center at OSU. So we're super grateful for them and excited to see what those graduates do. I know that Stillwater Arts actually won first place in our pitch contest, and with the funds, she actually put together the Paint in the Dark event that happened at Block 34. So a good community event to continue getting people out to that space and learn about different art that they could do. Questions, comments, concerns so far? Okay. We've had a lot of really great site visits. I was able to actually take that picture on the right from an actual site visit. You guys can see there that we are with Meridian at the Meridian site, and I can't stress what a great asset Meridian Technology is to our community and their partnership in that. So that project is moving forward quite well. Department of Commerce actually went to that company's location in another country to look at how that facility is, look at that business's structure, and they're very excited that Stillwater is still their number one pick for onshoring into the U.S. So we're excited to have them potentially making that announcement soon. We also participated in the Site Selectors Guild virtual roundtable. This allowed us to actually meet one-on-one with site selectors in a virtual format. It was done in our partnership with the Greater Oklahoma City Chamber. We went as a region, and we really got to talk about each of our communities within the region and had great feedback and had good follow-ups with some of those site selectors. And then we attended the Southern Economic Development Council conference that was actually hosted in Oklahoma City this year. So all good things happening. Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, and coming soon. So we are entering into our agreement with the Center on Rural Innovation, Corey, so that's very exciting for us. Not only from a data perspective, they're going to help us tell Stillwater's story through the numbers, but the resources and what's going to come through that for continued workforce opportunity in our community is huge. We are hosting our Economic Summit November 14th. I hope you all plan to be there. It's going to be a great conversation. So we're actually going to have the state come in and talk about how economic development is being done at the state level. Then we're going to have Eric Long with the regional partnership come talk about what does our region look like by the numbers, and then I'll give a brief update on how things are going here in Stillwater. So we're going to give a great overview of all things economic development. Part of our business retention and expansion visits, meeting with some of our employers, we have a lot of people that are moving to Stillwater from either different parts of the countries or different countries. And so how do we do a better job with employee retention and getting them ingrained in getting to know how great our community is? So one of the requests that has come from that is, how do we get these people together? And so we're gonna host a New to Stillwater mixer where we'll have local community resources, whether it's programs that they want for their families, whether it's things that they want for themselves. How do they get involved with our nonprofits? How do they find out whatever it is that they're needing? So we're partnering with some of our larger employers to put that on. And then last but not least, we have been selected to host the All In for Oklahoma meeting in March of 2026. So this is a great opportunity for us. The state will come the night before. This is good for them to see our community. They'll tour our sites. They'll get an idea. So even when we can't be at some of these site selector conferences, our state entity that does recruitment is able to say, hey, wait, this might be a good project or a good fit for Stillwater. So we'll host them here the night before, and then the very next day we actually we host anybody that is involved in economic development in any form can come to that quarterly meeting throughout the state. So sometimes it's other city councilmen, sometimes it's county commissioners, sometimes it's Main Street, sometimes it's other EDOs. So we're excited to welcome all of them into Stillwater and show them all the great work that everyone's been doing. Comments, questions?
Can you give me the Cliff Notes version on the Corey, what they are and what they do?
The Center on Rural Innovation, yes, I can. Give me just 1 second to... Okay, shift gears. So the Center on Rural Innovation, the gentleman that started that, they are actually, well, I'm going to back up. We have been part of the Kaiser Foundation's 1050 Forward. So the Center on Rural Innovation is who actually did all the data analytics for that program. program. So not only are they a great resource on that side, but some of the things that we're working with them on is how do we take that information that they gathered and then implement it into sustainable practices in our community. So is that workforce training? Is it, do we need a business accelerator, which is kind of that in between from the incubator to those businesses standing on their own? So they do pretty much whatever a community needs. And they have great relationships with different data center partners. And so we're excited because they'll understand what are those workforce needs to help that workforce, but then also the technology and telecommunications sectors as well.
So do they have a full-time staff that does
They
this?
do,
Okay.
yes. Yeah.
And bunches of, well, not bunches, but they have data scientists that work with them. And as a part of the 1050 Forward work, they developed a whole platform of data for micropolitan communities to understand more specifically the demographics and kind of workforce issues that are happening, and allows you to compare yourself to other micropolitans as well. So they've been a great force in terms of bringing forward data as a part of the storytelling that communities need to have in order to advance some of these workforce and job opportunities.
And
Cool,
so our
thank you.
goal is to take that information and then make actionable steps out of it, of how do we utilize it? Now that we have it, what do we do with it?
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Well, that's all that I have for you guys. Anything?
That's
Counselor?
really it?
That's really it. I know. That's all.
I just
would
wanted to take a moment to brag on you all. I had an opportunity to go to the ribbon cutting for Kingspan, and I just can't tell you how many people came up to us and said what a pleasure it was to work with the Chamber of Commerce, and how impressed they were with you and with the staff at the Chamber, of course with the city as well, but they were glowing about you. And it just was such a sense of pride representing our city that day, knowing that we have such a great partner in that work, and just was just so grateful and thankful for that.
Thank you. They made it, truly, they really make it easy.
And you all have had some really just outstanding wins this year, and I love seeing that's not enough. There's just more and more that you're doing, and so I think that's great to see.
Thank you. Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
I think that takes us to the end of our agenda for the Stillwater Economic Development Authority meeting. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. With a vote of 4-0, our meeting is adjourned, and that concludes our meetings this evening.